Hi, was I actually um was I not online for the last 10 minutes? Cuz I was I was doing my little introduction there for a second, and then I realized I hadn't clicked the go live button on YouTube, and I don't think I was live at all while I was talking. I was about to start the game and just go ahead and go right into it. Um, yeah, it's been a long time since I've done this. Let me pull that up. Because I was on my intermission screen for a little bit, and then I switched over, and then I fixed the excuse me, I fixed the spectralizer. I was like, okay, good to go, and then I did, I started going off and getting, starting everything, and then I realized I hadn't clicked that the go live button in the YouTube dashboard. So I don't think anybody, I don't think anyone who was here those 15 minutes could hear me. But anyway, I'm live now, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Especially since I think my Joy-Con, my Joy-Con, one of my Joy-Cons is a bit low on battery, so the sooner I play, the better. Um, but yeah, we're going to be playing some Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Kong Quest. This is a follow-up to my first Donkey Kong Country stream. We're not going to be playing the whole thing. We're going to, we're just going to be, we're just going to be kind of getting as far as we can, playing it old school, and then I'm going to, when I'm ready to finish, like an hour and a half from now, then I'm going to kind of go on my 102% file that I have and show off the rest of the game. So this is less of a full playthrough and more of a slight challenge run versus a demonstration, and almost like an extended review, I guess. At least that's what I'm hoping it'll be. Because if it's not, then I would have to scrap this, and I don't want to. Hopefully, there's no other problems like I had earlier, as far as anything technical that would make me have to reconsider posting this as a VOD. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Okay. Yeah, so here's my my save file. I think I played this last year, sometime by myself. Took me about 10 hours to get 102%. I did kind of cheat at the end because there's some stupid stuff with this game's design. It's a great game, and in a lot of respects, it's much better than the first game. But one of the main issues with it is that the original Donkey Kong Country is criticized for being too easy and too quick to finish. Hold on, let's see. Down. Yeah, here's the secret music test. So that's a little secret for you. Just go right here and press down a few times. But the original Donkey Kong Country is considered a bit too easy, and this one is considered more, is more challenging. But there's ways in which I think they kind of overcompensate. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, we weren't able to make the first one as hard as we wanted to, or as long as we wanted to, so we're gonna go all out with this one. But there's a lot of things that they really didn't need to do, and it just kind of makes it kind of no pun intended, monkeys monkeys it up a bit. I think the third one is a bit underrated, just because it's a little more balanced. But this is still a great game, and I really do enjoy it, as frustrating as it gets later on. So, what we got here? We've got Captain K. Rool, not King K. Rool this time. I've kidnapped that lumbering fool Donkey Kong, and you will never see him again. Okay, good to know. So we'll get these bananas. Now there's a Krem coin secret right here, where it's a lot of people use it to speed up the, to speed up the game, where you jump over bananas or something, and you get like infinite Krem coins to find all the, so you don't have to actually do all the bonuses to get the final levels. But we're not gonna do that, mostly because I don't know it by heart. And also because, like I said, I have an extra file. So right here. There we go. Oh, this is something some players might miss. These bananas in shapes of letters, they're meant to basically give a kind of a tutorial to the player. So it was telling you to press A to use your little team thing to get the banana coin. These guys are kind of a pain. And we'll get you. Alright. Over here. Find the token. Most of the bonus stuff in this game is pretty much like this. It's just like you destroy all the enemies and get the token, or just follow this trail of bananas and get the token. There's a lot more variety in the bonus stages, and challenge, I would say, in Donkey Kong Country 3. Alright, so here's another letter of bananas. So it's telling you that A will let you do this. That's Ramby's charge attack that I believe he didn't, if I remember correctly, he didn't have that in the first game. Destroy them all. Easy. So the first few Krem coins that you're expected to get, they're fairly easy to find. It's later on in the game that they start hiding a lot of these coins in a lot of these bonus rooms, in ways that just feel kind of I guess, I don't know if scummy is the right word, but it just feels a little unfair at times, because in some cases there's like no way you could be a normal player could be expected to find some of these bonus rooms, these bonus barrels, in a reasonable amount of time without like buying the official Nintendo guide. So that's one of the problems one of the things I hold against this entry, is that it feels a little too dependent on that kind of thing. This is one of the levels where Dixie is queen. And I think in most respects, I tend to favor playing with Dixie in this one, just because I don't know, she just tends to play better. Dixie's got the long hair throw right there. Diddy is a little better for for some maneuverability options, like his roll jump, his mid-air roll jump is a little better. It's like there's subtle things to Diddy, to the differences between Dixie and Diddy that you don't really pick up until you're starting to try to until you're in a position where it's like you're really trying hard not to die, or you're trying really hard to 100% the game. But I think if you're just kind of playing a bit more casually, then in most cases Dixie pretty much is all you need. Here, go here, get that, get the lives. Now, for players that kind of want to grind for lives and stuff, keep in mind that if you're playing this the old school way, every time you turn off the game, your lives and your banana coin counters reset, and you need the banana coins to save, and you you might just be wasting your time if you can't play this whole thing in one sitting, if you're sitting there trying to get 99 lives, because those 99 lives are going to go away if you don't use a save state. I normally don't get that many. Get them. I normally don't beat that one so fast. Usually I have to pick them off one by one. All right. Ah. Okay, it's okay. I got revenge. Oh darn. So, okay. Kind of wanted to give that level to Diddy, so there's more Diddies on the board. Doesn't really matter though when you're playing one player. Oh, first let's go see everyone's favorite Kong. Come and say hello to your old grandpappy Cranky, back by popular demand. I like how he stuffed the frog. At least I hope that's not I hope it's not a stuffed frog. I hope it's just a decoration, because it'd be sad if that's what happened to Winky. Cranky here just gives you advice on where to find like how to beat levels and where to find bonus rooms and everything. We don't really need to talk to him right now, but let's go ahead and just take a free one. Jump for joy when crossing the longest horizontal rope. Okay, we're gonna save the coins. Gangplank galley. That one. That's one of the easiest ones to find. Just gotta break them all. So how's everybody in the chat doing? All probably one or two of you. It's okay. I'm glad. If there's only like one or two people here, I'm glad you're here anyway. If it's just me, then, that's fine too. I'm playing a game I like, that's all that matters. I'm not gonna get bummed about it like I used to. It's one of those things with streaming, just gotta keep at it, keep practicing. And just not get discouraged. That's what's important. Here. Interesting touch here is the sun starts to go down as you progress through this level. Oh, there we go. Right. I always used to love using Dixie's little flying wheel. Was there something down here? Whatever, I'll go see it. No, that's a bit. So yeah, just like with the first game, there's going to be times when you have to do a bit of a leap of faith to see if there's a secret or whatever hidden somewhere. Over here. Invincibility. No, that. There we go. So yeah, we're doing a pretty good job getting these coins. At least right now. Hold the Y button. I'll go ahead and give this to good old Diddy. Yeah, you gotta fall from a certain height in order to make the barrel hit the prize. Kong College. So this is how you save. You go and see Wrinkly Con. She gives you advice for how to play the game, but she's mainly to say she's the replacement for Candy Con here to let the player save the game. And you know you have to pay us. You have to get the banana coins. It takes like 2 banana coins. Your first save is free usually. There we go. Oh, only 9 minutes. We're doing okay on time. So yeah, 2 coins. And like I said, if you turn the game off or reset it, if you're playing on original hardware or if you're trying to play this in the traditional way, without using any save states or anything, you have to deal with the counter for your lives and your banana coins being reset. So you can't. There's no point in just sitting there unless you're going to be sitting there playing it for 8 hours straight. Like 8 to 10 hours straight. There's no point in grinding for all the coins and all the lives. The gold coin with a bunch of bananas on it. Collect these and spend them on various Kong family locations found throughout the island. Let's go ahead and find that. When you have both characters, press the A button to team up. You can throw your partner to defeat enemies and reach inaccessible features. Press A again to split up. Oh, and here's the advice for the area boss. Throw Crow's eggs back at him, he won't like it. Definitely, the bosses in this game are where it very significantly improved upon the first game. So I think, oh yeah, got it. Okay. So, boop, got that. I wonder... Let me go back over here. I'm very much a... When it comes to these kinds of games, I'm very much an explorer. I like to try to explore every little nook and cranny. And I think that comes from the fact that growing up a lot of times, when I played these sort of games, there was always that sense that there was some kind of secret, you know, that kids whispered about on the playground, which was usually not true, but in some cases, you know, there were things you heard about that were hidden in the game, or that, you know, you could find in the game. And oh, here's another letter banana, or set of banana letters. So you charge up his, and on guard, shoot straight forward. But yeah, when you were growing up during this era, like there was always like rumors about like something that was hidden in the game, and there was always you'd have brothers or friends who did beat the game and so did find the secrets, and they'd tell you about things you missed. And so, like, even after you maybe completed everything, you were always kind of hoping that there was some little tiny secret that you overlooked that would kind of give you a reason to keep playing. And I think from that, I kind of picked up this habit of just wanting to, like, explore every little nook and cranny of a level. Here. Up, up, up. Ugh. No, get away. Here he is. On guard. Up. Get out of here. Whoa. Got that. Alright, we're doing pretty good on the lives without really having to try too hard. Oh no, wait. Yeah, it's over here. So I think this is a secret. You have to charge them and then bam. Yeah, there we go. So you have to do that because the water goes down pretty fast. And let's see, how are we doing on our coin count? Alright, we have a DK coin and an exclamation point, so we found everything there. Let's go back over here. I don't know if there's a DK coin. I can't remember if I don't think every level has a DK coin. I think it's like every other level or something. Or maybe everyone does. Dang. Yeah. So even though I beat this whole thing last year, there's still some things little things I can't remember off the top of my head. So we got an exclamation point there, so we got all the Krem coins. Yeah, I think there's like 2 or 3 per world. Two or three DK coins. Swanky's bonus bonanza. So even though Donkey Kong doesn't really appear in the game until the end, they sure make good use of his model. Here, Swanky just lets you play these little guessing games to try to get more lives. Go ahead and take that. What is my name? swanky. What is the first enemy that you see in the game? It's the rat. When by the way, when Dixie starts drinking from her juice box, it looks like she's sucking her toes. It's like, if you don't like look closely, it looks like she just has a big she's just putting her big toe in her mouth. Gameplay Galleon, yeah. Alright. So the game is complete there. Yeah, we can spare a point. What button do you press to run? The Y button. What is the name of the first level in the game? Pirate Panic? Next one. What is the name of the enemy boss who has kidnapped Donkey Kong? Captain K. Rool. Speaking of K. Rool, in this game, they made the Kremlings. They made the Kremlings into pirates, but the funny thing is if you know a little bit about some of the development of the Donkey Kong Country games, they were actually that's what the Kremlings were originally intended to be, were pirates. They were originally designed for another game called like Johnny Blastoff that Rare was working on, and the original designs were the Kremling crew. Where they were like space pirates or something. So in the second game here, they kind of returned to the whole pirate theme with the Kremlings. Ah, crap. And so I think I need him. Oh no. I just gotta. Okay, come on. Oh, okay. And so in this game they return to the pirate theme with the Kremlings, like they originally designed. But I guess when they made the third game, they kind of realized like, hey, it would be weird if we like had King K. Rool be King K. Rool in the first game, but then every other game he's Captain K. Rool. So I think that's why in the third game they switch it up again. And they kind of make it a character trait, I guess, with K. Rool, that he is someone who is just crazy and just kind of constantly, like, decides, okay, this week I'm gonna be a captain, next week I'll be a king, and the week after that I'll be a mad scientist, and the week after that, who knows what I'll be. But then, in the later games, after Rare was no longer working with Nintendo, and working on the series, they kind of Nintendo decided to just make the King K. Rool personality like the dominant personality in this guy. So I don't know. I wonder if like if Rare had if Rare and Nintendo stayed close, if Rare would have kept doing that with more of like mainline Donkey Kong Country, like if they had actually done Donkey Kong Country 4, like not a Donkey Kong 64, but like a proper Donkey Kong Country 4, if they would have kept doing that. I don't know if they would have, because in the end, oh wait, that's for him. It's for the snake. Crap. I don't know if they would have, because they make him a king again in Donkey Kong 64, which was a game Rare worked on, or at least one of the teams at Rare. There's a lot of like drama about, like, apparently there's a lot of drama around the development of Donkey Kong 64, because it wasn't really designed by anybody who actually worked on. It wasn't really designed by anyone who actually worked on. Oh, that was for him. guess I don't remember this one very well. Doing all kinds of flub-ups. From what I understand, Donkey Kong 64 was developed by like a B team of some kind. And I've never heard it. I've never watched it. I should probably try to find it. There's apparently a developer commentary for I think like one of the Conquer game that was on Xbox or something, where a lot of the people who worked on the Conquer games sort of make fun of the developers who worked on Donkey Kong 64. And from what I understand, there was a little bit of competition at Rare at the time, where they would have different groups working on different projects and trying to one-up each other, and the Donkey Kong 64 team was kind of considered less competent, and sort of the butt of various jokes by the company. And the one thing that bothers me about that, I guess, is if that's true, then it kind of makes sense why Rare eventually kind of started to decline and they had to sell themselves to a company like Microsoft, because looking at their later catalog, it seems like Rare didn't take their Nintendo contracts as seriously like later on. It seemed like they wanted to put all their efforts into their own projects, and they sort of oh, by the way, Funky here is back, and but we don't really need to use him right now. Yeah, but we're just gonna hire it anyway, just for the heck of it. Yeah, see, so you're gonna use Funky to get around the different areas, just like in the first game. But now he costs money. He costs in-game currency. So go ahead. Yeah, so that was fun. But yeah, as I was saying, it seems to me like later on, if you look at stuff like Donkey Kong 64, and especially Star Fox Adventures, which wasn't really a bad game, but I think there's valid reasons people don't like it. It seems like Rare kind of took their Nintendo licenses less seriously later on, and they wanted to put all their efforts and money into their own like personal pet projects, like Conquer and other things. And they kind of, you can tell they were kind of thinking like, okay, we'll do the Star Fox thing, we'll do the Donkey Kong thing, we'll do that, and we'll get the money that we need from Nintendo, but we're not going to really put too much effort into it. And I think that was probably what was going on. And then you have the inter-competition, which in some cases can work in a company's favor, but when you have a situation with like, when I hear those stories about Donkey Kong 64, I kind of have to ask, well, if they knew that the Donkey Kong 64 team was having a lot of trouble, why would they not be putting all their resources into helping that team? Especially if they're working on one of Nintendo's most important, first-party properties. Don't you take making the Donkey Kong game, that another company has asked you to make for them, don't you take that seriously? And so I don't know what exactly was going on. I don't know the full details, but that kind of, that it's like, well, if that was the attitude at the time, then it's no wonder eventually Rare started to not, like, its output started to become lackluster, and they eventually had to get bought out by another, like a big corporation. It makes perfect sense because, inter-competition that wasn't really healthily managed, plus, not taking those contracts seriously, that's going to definitely affect a company in the long term. So that's what I think kind of was probably what was happening. unless there's some other details that I'm overlooking or that I'm not aware of. Oh, by the way, we're on the second world. Time for a hothead hop, but first, since we're in a hot place, it's time to take a little drink of the gamer water. Which is just water, by the way. But hey, that's the trend now, right? Just take an ordinary thing and put gamer parentheses TM, and you can you can charge it. You can charge double for it. So, hothead hop, which one was this one? This is the one where you have to jump on the crocodiles. The Indian crocodiles. They're the ones with the longer snouts. I forgot the name of them. I forgot what they're called. Got it. Okay, get over here. This one pulls you up. This is my box. Got it. Alright, so now we have this. Let's go. Okay, good. Nope. And here we go. Cannonball, and we're off. Collect the stars. This is one of the bonus, the types of bonus levels that comes back up in the third game, but I think those ones are a little better done from what I remember. A lot of the bonus stuff that makes its reappearance in the third game, I think, is better handled in the third game than it is here. Because the point here was never really to make the bonus games fun. Really, it's more to just pad out the game with all sorts of secrets that you need to ask a mother to buy you the strategy guide to find. Which is why I would probably just recommend not really focusing too much on like getting all the secret bonuses like your first run. Just play the game casually. You'll enjoy it a lot better. You know, go ahead and try to beat Captain K. Rool. Like ordinary first. Don't focus on trying to like go back and find all the bonus rooms, because you're just gonna tear your hair out. Just complete the game the first time around, and then when you're done, just look up the guide. The game's much better that way, if you're trying to 100% it. And don't feel like bad about it. Like, oh, I looked up the player's guide. I'm not a real gamer. Like, no, that's what they wanted you to do. That's why that's exactly what they wanted you to do. And they went through like every possible measure to force you to do that. So if you're using a player's guide to get the 100% stuff once you've beaten the game like normally, like the main campaign, then you're playing the game exactly as it's supposed to. I think. Oh, okay. I already went there. Sorry, I got confused. I was busy talking. Yeah, I already got it. I'm dumb. My brain's not working right now. Smikey. We'll play a little game with him. What is the name of the first lava level on this area of the island? Well, we just finished it. It's Hothead Hot. What is the name of this area of the island? The something Cauldron. Go. You clever little monkey. How many times did you have to hit the end of area giant bird? The end of area... Okay, that's a very weird sentence. You could just say Krow. Or you could just say the boss of the first area. Or the guardian of the first area. You don't... That was a very... That's a very strangely worded sentence. Going up. Clubba's kiosk. Do we want to... Yeah, let's go ahead. We got the points. Now hear this, landlubbers. My name is Clubba, and to cross me bridge is gonna cost you many pieces of it. Oh, okay. What was that? No, fight him. Okay, no. They kind of tease you there, like make you think that you can get through it. Like, okay, I'll just fight a boss. Nope. Gotta find those coins. And here's another go ahead and switch to Dixie because there is a secret here. One thing that both the second game and the third game have over the first one is that there's more vertical levels, more levels where you have to climb up. Most of the levels in Donkey Kong Country 1, pretty much all of them really. You just go to the right. You just run to the right. That's all. There's platforms, obviously. There's all sorts of like hazards and everything, but you don't have to climb any. You don't have to climb up much like you do here. I almost had it. Don't worry, we'll get it. And to be honest, I actually like a lot of the vertical levels in this game. There's a couple later on that are just dumb. Just DKC2 dumb. But for the most part, a lot of these levels where you have to like get in barrels and climb upward and everything, they're some of the best levels in the game. I think it's the castle ones later, the ones where the floor moves. I don't think I like those ones very much. Yes. Here. Oh. Thankfully, in most of these levels, when you fall like that, it's not you don't fall, you don't die. You just have to go through the trouble of climbing up again. So I think in a lot of ways, the vertical levels are some of the most forgiving in this whole game, just because of that. They just can be a little long in the tooth, I think is the phrase. Up. Okay, do it again. Got it. And once you like get a hang of the controls or know these levels pretty well, you know, getting through them is really fun. You can just like, it's just like get your timing right and just keep going. All right, through here. I think there's a thing here. Yep, got it. No, no, no. Crap. Up once again. Alright, so. Sometimes if you wait, you're gonna mess yourself. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna get your timing wrong. Believe, like, but can I wonder if I can get that with, yeah, I can. Oh, it just takes me there. That must be like the exit barrel or something. Ah. Okay, so let's try this again. Just kind of have to, like, yeah, see, sometimes waiting is what you don't want to do. Got it. Switch. And you kind of have to use the directional pad to sort of curve and bob and weave as you're going through the air, which is pretty fun. It makes it feel less like what you have most of the time when you're dealing with barrels in the first game, where you're just kind of like, it's sort of like the Sonic loops, I guess, or, you know, where you're kind of just on a path. You're not really like, there's not really a challenge per se. You just get in the barrel and then it shoots you into 5 other barrels that, you know, in a predetermined direction. Here you kind of have to, you know, maneuver very slightly. Give me that. Lava Lagoon. Okay, so this is one of the ones where you have to jump on the seals to make them throw ice in the water. Yeah, it is. No, get away. Oh, whew. Close. One of the things I didn't really notice until not too long ago when I was replaying Donkey Kong Jr. was that you know, a lot of the characters. Ah, darn it, go down, no. Ah. A lot of the enemy characters also are meant to, like I was saying, the Kremlings. The concept of the Kremlings was generally something Rare came up for their canceled Johnny Blastoff adventure game. But like stuff like the Claptraps and the Neckies, the Vulture, that is, you know, the Vultures. Those enemies pretty much made their appearance in Donkey Kong Jr. And so, like, these kinds of guys, like the Claptraps and the Neckies and everything in these games are sort of an homage to those particular characters, to those particular enemies. And I didn't notice that until very recently, because I grew up more with the very first Donkey Kong than I did Donkey Kong Jr. Although I was aware of it and I played it, it wasn't really something I played regularly enough to make that connection until fairly recently. gotta keep moving. Something up here. Oh, yeah, here we are. Yes. Oh, we didn't find on guard. What a shame. Could have gotten some extra lives out of that. Down. Ah! Alright, be quiet. Ah. Okay, so it was this direction. Go. You. Here. Just kinda gotta try to hold the Y button and press the B button. That's one thing with maneuvering in like underwater in these games, and you know, you have to kind of hold down Y if you want to go fast, and then you gotta kind of like you know, you hold down Y with the tip of your thumb, and then you press B with the flat bottom flat end of your thumb. It's sometimes a bit of a strain. Kind of wish I could just like hold like L or something. There we go. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Got it. Nope. And got it. Okay, so now we're gonna go see Wrinkly Kong while she's still alive and kicking, because she dies and just appears as a ghost in every other Donkey Kong game. That's it. Game. It's free. Yeah. So if you're good enough, if you're good enough to where you can just save midway and then you make it the rest, like, don't have to, like, you can always go back and save after each level you complete, but obviously that's going to cost you the banana coins. So I mean, I think I'm pretty good at. I'm good enough at the first 3 worlds, because there's a huge. I feel like there's a huge difficulty spike in like the later worlds. Give me some advice for the Guardian. When you hit Kleever, quickly get across to the other side before he gets angry. For every bonus level you complete, you will get one of these, collect a lot, and you can use them at Clovis Keys. I know I've mentioned this before, but again, let me know if there are any audio problems, because I'm not really monitoring the audio right now. So for all I know, I've been talking and nobody can hear me. So I won't know until I check the playback. I hope that's not the case, but I'll check it in just a minute when I take a quick little break. So this is the one where you have to do this. So you're kind of stuck in place on the balloon. Ugh, crap. Red Hot Ride. That's what it's called. I don't really like this one that much. I don't really like these blimp ones. They're kind of slow and kind of hard to maneuver. And if you die, you have to sit through the whole thing again. It's kind of irritating. But as long as you aren't trying to collect every single little thing, it probably isn't going to be too much of an issue. Get out of here. Get out of here. And we got the Rhino. The Rhino's your best friend on this level. As long as you can keep Ramby, then you're probably going to have a much better time. Having these foreground elements obstruct your view here is the best idea, but it hasn't really proven to be too much of a problem. Now I think this is one of the long yeah. We're only halfway finished with this. There. That's a little extra perk. If you can keep both of the Kongs until you get the barrel, you can just use the barrel as a weapon. Which is especially helpful in B levels. I would have a just to pass the time here on these balloons. I would have actually liked if I could have gotten something set up to where I could show off the Game Boy Advance version of this, because this game came out in '95, late 1995, and then in 2004 it got ported with the other Donkey Kong Country games to Game Boy Advance. And I think I talked a little bit about this when I did the Donkey Kong Country 1 stream. But just in case I didn't, in general, the Game Boy Advance versions are better. They have more, in the sense that they have like more content, and they kind of have, you know, a little more. They add a little more story, story bits and everything. And so, the Game Boy Advance versions, even though there are issues, because for some reason with the Game Boy Advance there was this real serious push to make it do things that, like, there's a lot of games that really push the envelope on the Game Boy Advance, and while they're impressive, they don't always like stick the landing. But it's impressive that they were able to get things working, a lot of things working on the Game Boy Advance that they did get working on the Game Boy Advance. Like as far as like 3D games, and you know, like even some like odd ports here and there that you didn't expect to have Game Boy Advance ports. And the Donkey Kong Country games kind of are one of the better high-end port jobs to the Game Boy Advance. Though there are like compromises, especially because honestly the Game Boy Advance's audio chip is really not that great. And also, I mean, these graphics are already hyper compressed to fit on Super Nintendo cartridges, and so to work with the Game Boy Advance hardware, they had to be redone, and there's some visual changes in the Game Boy Advance versions that I don't think are very good. But in terms of like a complete package, the Game Boy Advance games are the better, like more like definitive edition, I guess, with more mini games and little, you know, and things like that, and extra stuff added in. And I just kind of, you know, I kind of wish I could have played those instead. But this is pretty good, just because these are on the Switch Online service, which I don't really like, but I will say that being able to, you know, just being able to turn on the Switch and play these is really cool, especially in the visual quality that they are. Although I don't really like the business aspect of the service, I will say it is, you know, it's easier to just turn on the Switch and get on this Super Nintendo Online app than it is to get my designated emulator box all set up and ready to go without any problems. And actually be able to like capture it, because usually for emulator stuff I use, you know, for my legally acquired digital backups, quote unquote, I usually use something like the old Wii or Wii U, which is fine if I'm playing casually, but not really that great for capturing. There's still a lot of hiccups I run into when trying to capture or record or stream off those devices, especially when I'm doing like homebrew stuff. So what do you gotta tell me? The trek towards the clobber with the spider is worth looking up. I think I got that one. I don't think Cranky has much to share with us that's of value right now. Give me a second. Sorry, had to have a drink. Oh, am I already at the... Oh no, this is one of the... Do I like this level? I think I do. I think I like using the parent. Okay. There is something over there, I think. I think there is. Yeah, there is. Oh, okay. I just skipped the level. They have some of those. Just like in the first game, they have a little secret level skipper barrels. But we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go back and we're gonna try to do it the normal way. But that's a little speedrunner trick for anyone watching. I'm not entirely sure why they added those in. I wonder if is it just a treat for players. It's got to be a dev thing. It's got to, like, because there's other games I think that had stuff like that, not just these games. And I think it must have been like for developers, but they couldn't like afford to like take them out for some reason, so they just left them in as like a little secret for the players. And up we go. Going up, 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 up. I will say that I don't think any of the I don't think there's very many barrel levels in this one that are as annoying as that Barrel Blast Canyon level in the first game, the snow barrel one. That one you almost always have to use the secret, because it's just even though the first game is known for being much easier, that level is just, I think even as a kid that was the level we always got stuck on. And if there was a reason we kept multiple save files or completed save files just to continue the game, it was because of that. Alright, press Y. What the bananas say. Just do what the bananas tell you. I think some people would say that they don't like using Squawks in this game, but I always thought he was one of the best animals just because it's fun to, you got the projectiles where he throws eggs. I used to think they were like walnuts or something. Because he spits them. So, like, it was sort of like, I guess that was also the same thing with, like, in with the vultures, they spit out something at you, and I guess they're supposed to be nuts. There. I think that there's a bonus somewhere. Is it this one? Yep. Up. So that's a good thing that he has right there. Ugh. Just hold up. That. Woo! The image of that is just hilarious to me. Just because monkeys can be very violent, and so just I don't know, seeing them rip apart the alligator, and he's just pleading for his life, like, please. Please, I was just doing my job. Oh, we gotta make the trek back down. Just hold down. If you hold the directional buttons, he goes a little faster. But you kind of want to be careful. Ah, dang it. Let's go, Squawks. We're not gonna bother fighting. We're just gonna try to get through. There we go. Ah, dang it. Okay. Alright, come on. It's this way. Here. you can get him. There you go. We did it again. Alright, now time for the Kleever. This is the sword guy. Oh. Oh. Just get that. Him. Just keep moving. He takes about 4 hits, I think. 4 or 6? I think it's like 6. I didn't notice this, though, too, until I replayed it a little while ago for that 102% file I have. But there's a hand that holds him out of the lava. I didn't notice that when I was a kid. That's one of the good things about Dixie, is she can hold stuff above her head, so a lot of times when enemies are coming down on you. Gotcha. Cool. Now we're at Krem Quay. But I think first I'm gonna save, and I'm gonna take a very short break. Very short. Only gonna be like 10 minutes. Maybe 5 minutes. But first I want to go ahead and go over here. Go to Con College. Game. Alright, 47 minutes. We'll keep going for like another 30 minutes on this file, and then I'll finish off by showing off my completed file there. So okay, I'm going to mute the microphone. I will be right back. Okay, and we're back. I went over the playback a little bit, and there were some minor audio issues. Nothing too serious from what I can tell. Nothing that's gonna make me have to scrap the playthrough or anything. But I readjusted them a little bit right now, and hopefully it sounds a little better. Just again, let me know. It really does help. It really does help to know, because I'm always very nervous that something's going wrong that I don't readily perceive until it's too late. But we're doing okay. Not too many hiccups this time around. So let's go ahead and just keep on moving ahead. We're going to stick with this the normal way for about 20-30 more minutes. And then I'll do the final little showcase, and then we'll call it for the night. We should be done at like close to 7. Close to 7 my time. So we're gonna go ahead and go back up to see Funky Kong. Way cool. Oh, sorry, he has to be. He has to have a Jamaican accent, right? I always thought that was very weird in the cartoon show they did. Just cause I don't know, that was just never how I imagined Funky Kong's voice. So I think that was a very odd decision, a very odd creative decision. But then that you can say that for a lot of things with that series. You could say the series itself is an odd creative decision. All right. Oh, this is one of the directional barrels. So these ones you have a time limit to use them, but during that time limit you can change their direction. So yeah, there's a lot of new, like, there's a lot of interesting barrel mechanics in this game compared to its predecessor. I don't know. I don't think barrels are as much of a focus in the like in the third game. It tends to be like the third game tends to have more of like a puzzle kind of thing going on. Like each level has like a gimmick or like a challenge. So like levels are more individualized in the third game. So it's hard to really like in this game it's still kind of cast in a lot of the mold of the first game, but you have these other like things going on, like I guess you could say that the third game sort of defies easy categorization because of the variety of the different challenges that it's expecting, you know, the player to learn and overcome. Whereas this one, you could say, yeah, it plays pretty much like the first game, just, you know, a bit tighter and harder. There we go. That's how you do it. Go ahead and get you. Get that. Bop. I guess I missed the cannonball. Or maybe it's a head and you have to go back. Boop. No, and I missed the rhino too. Very strange. No, that's not what you're supposed to do. I think you're supposed to follow him. Oh, but I already killed him. I don't think he'll respawn now. No, he doesn't. There's a trick. There's a little trick right there, and I think that's how you get the cannonball. There you go. And there's the coin. We're not going to get that. We don't need to bother with that. Ugh. Okay. Alright, Diddy. Work your magic. Thanks, Diddy. Alright. So he had... Ah! Okay, so we're over here. Over here. Doop. Maybe we can get it this time. Maybe I can do it. Yeah, there we go. Oh. That was a mistake. That's what you get when you try to be cool. I did it that time. Ugh. Maybe that isn't how you do it. I don't know. I'll go ahead and see. Because I think you're supposed to follow that guy and he drops the cannonball. Yeah. I could be wrong though. Maybe I'm misremembering. Because there is one secret that has to do with those guys. Yep, there you go. I was right. Because it had the banana arrows there. That they're trying to tell you to do something there. Okay, so... Got it. Now we can proceed. So we're just gonna get past these guys. We don't need to bother. We don't need the Kong letters right now. We're not really short on lives. Let's just go ahead and try to get away from me. All right, and we're off. Go. Right, left. Just gotta... Ah! Okay. You can tell we're getting close to the harder part of the game. But Krem Quay is still, like, manageable. It's like, there's this really, like I said, there's a huge difficulty spike, I think, in between, like, worlds 1 through 3 and 4 through, like, 6 or 7. And there's a very huge difficulty spike with the bonus stages, especially the last one. And so I sometimes feel like people who will say, well, this game isn't that hard. It's really not that hard. But a lot of the people who will say that it's not too hard, and the people who will say it's too hard, I think it probably depends on how often like people get past this world. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take care of these guys. Okay. All right. There. Alright, now go away. Alright. It's very hair-raising when you're dealing with those kinds of barrels. Okay. So they're expecting you to do that real quick. Or to take them out. Glimmer's Galleon. This is the one with the frickin'... Yeah, here it is. There's something over here. Okay, so you're in the dark this whole time, I believe. Yeah. So you're just gonna have to... Okay, yeah, very... not too hard. I can do this. There. I think that was one that took me... That was one that I think I had to use... I had to use the guide to find. That was one of the more, like, obtuse ones, I feel. Alright, here's the Glimmer guy. Glimmer fish. I think his name is supposed to be... I think his name is Glimmer. It's called Glimmer's Canyon. I know most of the animals' names by now. The animal companions in this one are definitely like a step up from the first game, though. It does kind of not bother me. I am kind of bummed that the ostrich, they didn't use the ostrich or the frog again. But I guess the snake is kind of basically the same thing as the frog. But I feel like the snake is a little harder. I feel like the snake is a little harder to control than Winky is. Okay. Ooh, got it. There's our GF. Is there something? Nah, it's probably was on the other side. One thing that will throw you off with this stage isn't so much what happens in the darkness, but how like you see how he flips that that flash, that sort of like the animation when he flips kind of will I feel like that throws me off. So it's like he's both an asset and a liability. I don't really feel like I get tripped up by what's behind me in the dark. so that goes through the pufferfish stinger goes through the wall. Go up. Let that go. There. We're not gonna get. So I guess we didn't really get the letters. We'll be okay. Alright. Ah. Alright, don't let that. Ah. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, 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 no. Ugh. Dang it. Let's do this again. Get the bananas. Alright, so we got the life back. Anything over here? Yep, some secret bananas. Some wet bananas. Ah, what the hell? So the starfish will also travel through, like, and just follow you through the boxes. Just like the stingers will. Okay. Just gotta be very careful. Oop. See, you have to, like, the momentum slows down right there. It takes a little bit of time for the swim speed to build back up. Okay, come on, come on. Okay, so you shoot him diagonally. Whew. We did it. Oh, and here's where there. Don't want to land on the porcupine at the last minute, right? Let's go ahead and just take out the next level. Definitely want to get to Clubba, or the I don't think it's Clubba, it's the other, it's like his brother or something. The other guy. The other guy that has the thing. There. So that's a little, no. So just remember, if you hold the button while you throw them, then you'll travel to that location. So let's see, let's do it. Oh no, it's not, you not hold the button, you hold the direction. Or no, let's see, hold on. Okay. It's only, I guess it's only when you do it diagonally or in the air. Yeah, it's only when you do it, like, when you do a diagonal shot. Ugh. Yeah, so I'm gonna need a Diddy there. In terms of like companion abilities, or like, you know, partner abilities, the third one's probably the one that utilize where it feels like the unique abilities of each Kong are utilized more. All right. So if I remember right, you go over here, there, and then do that. Got it. Like this one, you have to do things like that. You have to like use each character's little like Diddy's roll or Dixie's you know, helicopter hair thing, or you have to do the throwing technique, especially for finding like those more obscure bonuses. But it feels like in the third one, like the actual abilities of each Kong, like there's much more reward for being able to keep both characters, from what I can tell. Like there's more things that it feels like you're gonna have an easier time overall with the game if you have both Kongs, not just because you get an extra life, but because, you know, each level is kind of optimized a bit more for, like, you know, dual Kong action. Whereas in this one, like I said, if you're just playing casually, you know, and not trying to get bonuses, pretty much you can just stick with Dixie and just make sure Diddy's around so you can take a hit. All right. Okay, hold on. Give me just a second. Sorry about that. Somebody came in the house, and I had to remind them that I was still playing. So, hopefully that wasn't that didn't take too long. Woo. Okay. I don't want to pat myself on the back too soon and say I got that, because anything can go wrong. Yeah, here is where, like, Dixie just can kind of break the level. Ah. Gotta be quick. There's something there. Sounds like the neighbor kids might be out. If they're being picked up on the microphone, just ignore them. There's nothing I can do about it. If it were up to me, I'd be in a log cabin somewhere with a satellite connection of some kind. Ah, no. I don't want to do this with just Diddy. Okay, there. This is where it starts to feel like the Switch's buttons work against you. Okay. Gotcha. Alright, so... Oh no. Dixie deserves this. And we got it. Rattle battle. I think this is the last one before we have to fight the boss. So I'm gonna try to do that last, the boss of this area. Oh yeah, this is one of the levels that has you take just solo control of the animal, which they did for bonus stages in the first game, but here they do it for a lot of regular stages. So they're able to, you know, there's a lot of fun stuff that they do with the solo, like the solo animal companion stages like these. So here's one thing: if you hold A, he'll jump up higher. Jump up, got him. They do have levels like this too in the third one. In general, the third one, like I said, is kind of a nice mix of everything good about both. And I know it's not politically correct, so to speak, to say you think the third one is the best one, but I think I kind of lean in that direction. There's a lot of stuff that this one does much better than the first game, but it's also much more frustrating as an experience just because of, like, if you're trying to 100% it just feels there's a lot of things in there that are kind of just very, in this game, that are kind of trollish in that regard. Oh, whew. Okay, come on. And I think I mentioned earlier too that when I was 100%ing this when I was doing my like completionist run of this, I kind of did it in one sitting, or like I did like the last, like, I did it like in almost I did like the last like part, like, you know, like an 8 hour, like the last like 5 hours of that file in like one stretch. And I think I was just getting really mad. I wasn't really having fun. I was just like, this is just work. I'm just doing this for the sake of doing it. I don't feel like I'm having a whole lot of fun trying to complete this whole game. And I don't get that vibe as much when I try to find everything in the third game. The third one feels a bit more like a proper collectathon with like a more balanced difficulty curve. got it. And yeah, like you mentioned, like you just mentioned, the soundtrack in the third game is also really good, and I don't think that it deserves like some of the flack that it gets. I think that that's just a lot of like the David Wise fanboys kind of trying to like nitpick the game, because the lady who did the soundtrack for the third game, she worked with David in both of these games, I believe. At least in the sound department. She didn't necessarily do all the composing. So she understood exactly how to make the game sound, and her soundtrack was just fine. You know, there's a lot of good tracks on there, and yeah, there's some stinkers, but I mean, there's some tracks in this game that aren't really anything to write home about. I mean, I had the when I do the little intermissions, I had some of the soundtrack from all three games playing, and I doubt you know, most people could really tell too much of a difference between some of those tracks that I selected. Ugh, we're still not there. Here's Clubba. Okay. So this one, I think, is one of those timed... Yeah, the water's going to start rising, I think, yep. Zoom. Zoom. Ah, no. Oh. Darn it. Ah. Yeah, I mean, I think that a lot of the complaints against the third game can sometimes be just kind of like nitpicky, like, oh, I don't, you know, the David Wise didn't come back and do the soundtrack, and, you know, therefore it's, you know, the soundtrack is not as good, or, oh, you know, I don't like Kiddy Kong, you know, Kiddy Kong scares me, you know, little petty things like that. I mean, there are some legitimate criticisms, I guess, like, I mean, some places, some areas don't really look as good. There's some graphical downgrades in certain areas of the game, like the snowman boss in the third one. He looks ugly. He's terrible looking, and there's really no excuse for that. Especially when you look at some of the other bosses in the game. Donkey Kong not being playable again is kind of a bummer, but, you know, it's not that big of a deal. Ah, dang. I mean, all three of them are great, are good games. You know, and it's really just a matter of preference, which one you prefer the most. I would just say that I think this one can sometimes get a little too much praise simply because it's harder. And so there's this tendency to kind of think like, oh, it's harder, therefore it's like more hardcore, and therefore it's more like a real game. But a lot of the difficulty in this game is just trying to 100% it. And a lot of the difficulty in that department is just, you know, obscure bonus barrels that you could never find without a strategy guide. Not really, like, anything, like, not necessarily, like, anything that is too dramatically, like, too dramatically, like, high in difficulty from, like, the point of like your hand-eye, like, I guess what's the word I'm looking for, like your hand-eye coordination, you know. There is a lot of that challenge in here, especially later on in like worlds 4 and 5, but you know, it's not this game has its own share of flaws, just like the other ones do. Like this one, its benefit is like, you know, tighter level design, you know, more variety in the kinds of levels and everything, and of course, yeah, the challenge. But its flaw is just like I said, you know, it has that. It's like it's a very Nintendo Power. You know, like, oh, you know, you want to get everything, gotta get your copy of the official strategy guide for Christmas kind of thing. The first one I think I really like because it's kind of a breeze to play through. Come on, get up. You know, it's something, the first one is a game that you can kind of, like, once you know everything, you know, it's like, hey, I just feel like playing Donkey Kong Country today. And you can do it. You don't have to, like, dedicate a week. Get up. I don't know why it's not registering it. Okay. Go. And the third game, I would say it has a nice balance of everything that's good about both of the other ones. And it has a lot of level variety, and it's little sort of more like puzzle focus, where you have to, you know, use more of the partner abilities. But it does have a problem where that can, you know, if you just want like a platformer, you don't want to have to like solve like a riddle. You know, that can get kind of annoying. Forget it. I don't need it. I just want to get this over with. Okay, so... Bramble Blast, really? Let's go ahead and see Wrinkly Kong. And save the game. No, I didn't mean to do that. I keep thinking B is like the cancel button. Alright, I think this is the one with the parrot. Is this the one with the parrot that you have to do it? It's one of these ones, but I don't think it's... No, this is the barrel one. This is one of the best tracks in the game, but I think they save it for these levels because these are the ones that are usually the most infuriating. Here and now. Now. There we go. Ah, no. Can't go that way. This way. That one. Oh no. Battery. It's a sign we gotta finish this up. I have to hit that one? Oh, yeah. There we go. No. Oh, okay, good. Ah, dang it. I really just wanted to get to the boss of this one and call it. So, we're not gonna. I'm gonna give it a couple more tries because I do have to finish things off. I might not be able to show off my completed file, but that's okay. I wasn't gonna do much on it anyway. I was just gonna show the Lost World a little bit, or it's the Kremling Cove. I think that's the Kremling Lost World. Here. Now. Ugh. Come on. There. And now. Advanced barrel tech. Okay, good. I got a life. Got a life for a wife. Go. Go. Anyhow, just to have something to talk about real quick. I know it's been some time, but the fact that for Donkey Kong in the new like Mario movie that's coming out, they got Seth Rogen. I know that upset a lot of people, and I'm not too fond of that decision either, or the idea of him doing like more stuff as the character. To be honest, that's one thing that kind of bugged me about the whole casting announcement, is just how Hollywood it seemed. And I don't know. I mean, I just, if it were up to me, I would just have like a Nintendo should have been doing like more stuff with animation, like with small, like in their own studio in Japan or something. You know, just making like short series and OVA, more like short series and OVAs. Like with Donkey Kong, like, do you need to have like a celebrity voice Donkey Kong or anything like that? Like, no, you just make like a small cartoon, like with 15-minute episodes, with like, just like, you don't even need to have dialogue. Just have it do like you know, just ordinary like web cartoons or something with DK and friends getting into all sorts of shenanigans, you know, with all sorts of slapstick stuff. You know, you can do stuff like that. I don't see why Nintendo never did anything like that. I don't see why they had to like, okay, we're gonna wait until like we can get the big we can make a deal with like a big Hollywood studio and then have to like, you know, get all these celebrity, like the latest like hot celebrities to do like the like to do the voices. I don't know. It just bugs me, you know, so that way we can be just like Disney. Because that's really, I mean, I guess that's kind of what Nintendo wants, you know, is to, like, they don't want to spend the money to be Disney, but they want to be Disney all the same. Okay, so now we're at the boss. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and save again. I know that they did do, yeah, like Luigi's Mansion 3, like some of the cutscenes in that could have been small, like that same tech, those same artists and that same like group of developers at the studio, like they could have done that to make their own Luigi's Mansion cartoons or mini series or mini web series or something. And there was a few years ago, like, or probably a decade or so now, like an F-Zero OVA that was actually not bad. I just feel like that should have been more of the focus if Nintendo wanted to get into animation. Like, do things more small scale, but still independent. So, you know, and kind of just do things, like, in a way that was, not so, not so, like, corporate Hollywood, okay, who's the latest like hot celebrity that's gonna, like, if we announce that this person's doing voice for us, that they're gonna like get all like a bunch of likes and retweets and stuff. I don't know, like, and there's, you know, there's gonna be musical numbers, there's gonna be pop culture references probably, you know, all sorts of stuff like that. All right, so yeah, I remember this guy. So you just jump. Whoa. Ah, damn. But yeah, like, if I was, like, sort of in charge of that decision, not, you know, not that I'm saying I'm, like, anybody important or anything, but, like, if it was up to me, a long time ago, I would have had small studios, I would have had, like, small studios set up that I owned that would produce small-scale animations, like web cartoons, like web series, and OVAs and stuff like that, and just build up, like, a repertoire of small-scale animation projects for beloved IPs. Where you could focus on, where you could pump out, like, say, like a Donkey Kong web series. Like, I guess the best example would be something like what Sega did with, like, the Sonic Mania cartoons. Something like that. It's weird to me. Like, that should be what Nintendo was doing with, like, Mario and Donkey Kong animations like 10 years ago. You know, it would have been great to see a series like that, like a new revamped, like, Donkey Kong Country series to promote, like, Tropical Freeze that, like, improves on, like, the old series. Like, maybe takes, like, you know, pays little nods to the old CG series that they had the Canadian studio do. But, you know, just because that's kind of a cult favorite because of how, like, goofy it is. But, you know, like, have stuff like that. Like, okay, you know, like, Donkey Kong Country Adventures, it's in a Sonic Mania style, like, web cartoon series. You know, no voice act. You don't need voice actors or anything like that. Just, you know, like, good storyboarding and good, you know, fun plots and, you know, fun little stories with beloved characters. You know, reimagined in a new style. And the same thing too with, like, Mario. Like, you know, CG Mario cartoons where it's less like the Mario Super Show and more like done in like an almost Charlie Chaplin, like Buster Keaton kind of silent film comedy series thing. Because I've always thought that would have been better for Mario, to like less dialogue and more just like, you know, more of an emphasis on just small little ditties. Take that. And then, like, you know, once you build up the repertoire, right? Once you build up your reputation, you know, and people know, like, hey, Nintendo Animation Studios is known for good quality animation, then you can, like, set to work on a feature film, you know, that you have complete creative control over. And I know that Nintendo loves to have, like, their complete creative control. It's just, it's again, it's one of those things where it's like, well, we want to be Disney, but we don't want to spend the money and put the effort. Yeah, that might be it. It might be like, you know, they want like to be a more like multifaceted Disney style studio, but they kind of want to focus all their internal resources on like their video games, and just like, and they've always kind of been like that, I guess. You know, the Mario Super Show, the Donkey Kong Country CG series, those weren't things they made themselves. Those were, you know, those were things that they outsourced while they, you know, worked on the games and on like their mainline branding. Huh. I'm surprised. I'm surprised I beat him. He usually usually is a lot harder. I guess I'm just used to him. All right. Okay. So I'm going to go and I'm going to save right here. And we're just about at the end, so I'm going to go to the Kong College. I'm going to reset the game, go to my other save file, show off a few things, and then call it a night. Now, I might come back to the game, I might come back to this file and actually, like, play the whole thing, like, over time, but that's just not really on, like, that wasn't really the schedule for tonight. This was mainly just to test stuff out and just see how far I could get in a limited amount of time. Okay, so now go to the suspend menu, reset the game. Okay, so here's my file. So I got everything here. So I'm gonna go over here. Now Kremland, the Kremland state, like, I feel like, let me see, let me think. Yeah, Kremland is the one that has a lot of the minecart levels. So I'm gonna go ahead and try, like, just show one off real quick, because we didn't really do a minecart level. I think only, well, no, there's another minecart style level, I think, in, what was it? It's the next world after this one. It's the haunted house one. And I believe I did mention it in the when I was playing the first game, that while, like, minecarts are sort of like, well, minecarts are kind of seen as, like, iconic as far as, like Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Country goes. There really aren't very many minecart levels in the first game. And, you know, technically speaking, there's no minecart levels in, you know, I mean, they're minecart levels, but they're not, like, minecarts. But yeah, there's only, like, 3 minecart levels in the first game, and I think this one has about 4, maybe And I think the third one has like 5 or 6. Though it might be even between them. And I'm just not remembering correctly. Oop. Don't want to hit the... Ugh, yeah, that's what you don't want. You want to hit the check barrels to open the doors and avoid the the X barrels. No, no. Okay, I'm not gonna complete that. Yeah, and this is the racing one. And there's a secret up here that I just show a freebie off. So you go up here, and then switch to Dixie. Yeah, and then you go through there. Yeah, you're supposed to destroy them all. I forgot how you do it. I think that took me a couple tries when I first did it. Sorry, I'm not really I'm not really trying here. Now, if I choose to come back to my other save file and start over, or like start from where we left off after a Krem Quay, then certainly I'll play through all of these legitimately and seriously. It's just, I mean, this one is so long to, it feels so long to complete. I mean, even though it's like, that says 10 hours, that doesn't count all the mess ups. It's more like 12. And if I'm only going to be if I'm going to go back to doing like weekly streams again, you know, I'm only going to be streaming like, once or twice a week for like 2 or 3 hours at a time. And I don't want to spend all that time just playing Donkey Kong. And here was the oh, I remember that one. Yeah, I don't really like these levels that much. These honey levels where you stick to the walls. These aren't really all that fun to play. Just because you kind of have to, like, yeah, see, you can't climb, you just gotta do that and then jump. You like press right, jump, and then press left to go up. It's really frustrating. No, let's see. Let's go see Funky Kong. Funky, where are you? There you are. Plane. Okay, so we're gonna go up to Gloomy Gulch. Yeah, and this is Haunted Hall. That's the one. This is the one with the. This is the other minecart one. And it's playing if you can hear it, it's playing a version of Night on Bald Mountain. So you gotta extend the time. Before he gets you, and just avoid the red barrels, and keep your time. Oh, and that's one of the collect the stars. Sometimes the bonus levels too, they can kind of break up the pace of like a level because sometimes you'll stumble upon them by accident. Yeah, and this one takes a few tries to actually collect all of them. I don't think, well, do you have to collect all of them or you just have to collect enough? I can't remember. I'm not sure if that one was different, where it was like, okay, you collected just the right amount. Ugh. No. 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 Yeah. Too bad. Okay, let's show off some of the Lost World real quick. There he is. The Kremling Lost World awaits ye. So if I remember, let me see if I remember. Of course. If I remember, yeah, you have to this is like Star Road. You have to like, you have to like, even after you've beaten them all, you have to go to the right Clubba kiosk to access the particular level. But you can access, once you unlock the core, which is where the final boss happens. I'm not gonna show that tonight. You can access it from any Lost World location. But you see, like, I have all the Lost World levels, but I'll show it off right now. Go back to funky up here. Let's go to K rules keep. Let's see. Up here. Well, how do I get over there? Oh, okay, there we go. I was about to repeat what the Gaming in the Clinton years guy said about when he complained about there not being the dots. Or when he mentioned, I think he was complaining, I think in that review, that old review, he complained that you don't have the dots to tell you the direction on the map. Yeah, so this is the really, like, stupid one. This is the one where I played it for like an hour and just called it quits and just like decided to use a save state. You have to play as every animal. Like these first parts with Ungard and Rambi aren't so bad. It's the last parts with Squawks and the snake that I couldn't take it anymore. But yeah, I mean I guess that'll do for tonight. Thank you to anyone who actually joined me. I do really appreciate it, and I hope that if I stream either next week, if I stream next week, it'll probably be Friday again. If I do another stream, it might be a shorter stream, like maybe like an arcade game or something. I would probably do that maybe sometime Sunday if I do it, maybe Sunday morning. Before, like, because I have stuff to do I have stuff I need to do on Sunday evenings, and I also need to make sure there's time to work on my other little projects, which I hope anybody who's watching those, I hope anybody who is either hanging out in the Discord server and watching the streams that I do there, the movie marathon streams that we do, I hope anyone who joins me there in the Discord server. The link is in the description. In case anyone's watching this on the VOD. I hope people enjoy those. I have more of the Playpen episodes with my friends coming out. Most of those are overdue. But I'm hoping to maybe record some more sometime in the next month or so. I have a couple other little small video projects for the main channel that are coming up. But I don't want to spoil too much. I don't want to like hype up something that I'm not entirely sure I'm going to finish. But I will say that there's some concepts, some stuff that's getting off the ground there that I'm hoping to get done in the next week. That should be really cool. So yeah, you know, if you're keep an eye on my main channel, again, link in the description for anyone who's just stumbling upon this channel who isn't already subbed to me on there. But yeah, again, you know, thanks to anyone who joined me tonight, and I hope I can keep doing this and improve, and you know, improve my commentary, you know, avoid the technical problems and etc. And just, you know, we can keep having fun together. That's what's important. But yeah, again, this has been Sayonara of Sayonara Productions. Wishing you all a very good Friday night.